Hey everybody, it's Amber with Chiloquin Unique Creations. What I got going on today, and I thought might be helpful, is I've done this before, but we're going to make it a little bit cleaner. And so I have these earrings, and I've just finished beading them. Let's see how to get you where you can actually see these. So they are this shape, a little bit different than normal. So we'll focus. There you go. So I know it probably looks backwards, but it says Savage. It's a popular term where I live. This is for a custom order for a school theme. This person's team is the Tigers in the school that they work, so this is a custom order. So I need to get these done. This one's going into the Etsy shop and the website, chiloquinuniquecreations.com, all one word. And this one will go to a customer, which is a Facebook. She found me on Facebook. So she liked the Every Child Matters earrings, and she wanted that same kind of theme or pattern. And I will show you those. So these are the ones that she saw, that she liked, that made her think of the Tigers theme for her school. So she did not want this shape though, or this style. She wanted this shape, which I'd done some abalone themed ones on, but with those colors. So that's what I came up with. Their team colors are white, orange, and black. So just what I came up with. Had a couple fails. Had to show her. Just don't want her to think I'm not working on them. But I like these. These came out good. So you're going to take a piece of cardboard. I prefer cereal boxes, believe it or not. Kids like the cereal and I like the box. Normally we buy the big bags of cereal because we've got a lot of kids, but sometimes I have to buy the box cereal just so I can have the box. You're going to take your piece, and you can line them all up if you want. It doesn't really matter. I just do one at a time, personally. I'm not going to get close to this edge where the fold is, but I don't actually use that fold in my earrings because I don't want a weak spot in the cardboard. This is not like a super technical thing. This is just help for the earring itself. Doesn't have to be a super beautiful line. You could stack these even closer, but I have like 10 pieces of cardboard, so we're good. Use the rest to light my fire, all my scraps, because we have only wood heat where I live. So there's those. So I'm going to slide these up just like this and keep them in order, because with handmade items or beaded items, sometimes one will be slightly bigger than the other, or maybe there will be a slight difference in the corners. And then I'm just going to cut it out, like so. Like I said, this is not like a super technical thing. I'm going to lay them down just like that so I can keep them in order. Just like so. So now I'm going to cut them apart. I'm going to lay this one back over by where it's supposed to go. And I'm going to cut inside my line anywhere between an 1/8 to a 1/4 inch. These scissors are super bad, but I don't want to dull up my other scissors, so not super technical. Again, just wing it. Just cutting off the sharper edges from where these horrible scissors don't cut very well. You're going to line it up, and you want to make sure that you have space around your edge Sometimes I will end up passing through the cardboard. It doesn't really matter to me, but it may to you if you have weaker needles, maybe. So you're just reinforcing the middle so it won't bend as easily. So that works for me. It's a good shape. I'm going to actually take it. This is a cheat I do now. Make sure that it would do the same thing on this one, which it does. And now I'm going to take this one piece of cardboard. Now it doesn't matter which way they are. And I'm going to actually cut around this one piece. But you gotta check it before you do this. Check it on both earrings. So I've seen a couple people commenting on somebody else's post on Facebook about, why is your beadwork so expensive? I was actually pretty offended for the beader. Just because I sell mine at whatever prices I sell mine doesn't negate the other person's time. Or the supplies and materials they're using. You know, we don't know each other's supply costs really, unless we're ordering from exactly the same suppliers. We don't know local cost or tax or whatever they got going on, or perhaps they're a bit of a slower, more diligent beater. You know, time is money when it comes to things like this. And so when you ask, why is something so expensive, but it takes 3 to 4 hours to finish a pair of earrings, all the way finish it. This beater, if they're selling their pair for $45, but it took them 3.5 hours to make it, they're making less than $15 an hour. The standard minimum wage where I live in Oregon is like $15 an hour now. 14. So a beater's not even making minimum wage. That doesn't even include the material cost that they have to pay, nor the shipping on the materials that they have to pay, nor any taxes that they have to pay, or overhead that they have to pay, or design time that they have to account for. So, you know, when you ask, why is a pair of earrings $45? You're basically saying you should work for less than minimum wage. And what you pay for your supplies means nothing. I don't care about the quality of the supplies, even though you want the best quality as a customer. You're saying, I don't care. So, beware of that. Beadwork takes time, and time is money. You know? When you say things like that, you are saying that person's time and their skill and whatnot is worth nothing. That's pretty horrible. Be respectful, be kind, and understand the value of what you're getting. A lot of us bead and we pray at the same time. They might be fun designs, but we're still praying for health, happiness, prosperities. We're praying for blessings to whoever gets them, or that these will find their way to the correct people, for the healing of the people, the earth, their families, the end of this coronavirus, the end of inflation, because that is destroying me. Inflation is killing my business. It's okay. We'll get through, right? But, you know, each bead means something, and each stitch is an intention, you know? So when you're buying handmade beadwork from Indigenous or Native Americans, that is what you're getting. You're getting the value of that. So, a little spiel on it. I'm going to go ahead and cut here, and then I'm going to get my leather, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to make the next layer. Okay, so our next layer is the layer of leather. And I'm going to be using this white leather. It is a sheepskin leather because I like it very thin. That way we're not putting too much weight on people's ears. And then we do kind of the same thing we did with the cardboard, except a little less precise. Like we need to be a little bit bigger rather than a little bit smaller. So what I do is I give a general make sure I'm keeping my things in order here. And I'm going to do a sloppy cut or a big cut here. Because I actually put all of mine together. These are going on fingernail posts, and I'm going to cut it down to the right shape, and then I'll be able to put my fingernail post on, and then I'll put it all together and clamp it, and then after it's dried and ready to be worked, I'm going to cut off the excess to where I need it to be, depending on what edge I'm doing. I'm probably just going to do my normal edge. I like the simplicity. I'm honestly not really into the fancy edges. I don't like them getting hung up in my hair at all. So I keep my edges pretty simple for the simple fact of I don't want it to be hung up in my hair, because if it doesn't sell, you know, I gotta wear it. Even though I'm super allergic to metal, I will wear something that doesn't sell, just so that the intentions and the beadwork will be honored at least once. And then, you know, I give them away or throw them in my jewelry box. So now I'm going to keep these all straight. I'm going to cut across, cut them, then cut and divide these into their respective pieces. And I'll cut them down to the shape. We'll actually hold it up and then cut it to around the same shape, but bigger, probably an 1/8 inch bigger. And then I will bring you back once I have these all cut out to the right shape. So we have this rough cut, and we're going to do another rough cut, and we're going to not do precision. We need to just take it to the rough shape so that we can fold it and find our middle point. Can't really find the middle point without the shape, so oops. Hopefully you can see this. Does not have to be perfect. We will actually do another trim. I just need to know the general shape. And you'll see kind of how else I've simplified it when I do the fingernail posts. Okay, this doesn't really matter. I'm going to cut it off anyways. So. There you go. It's another rough cut. Not precision. We have overlap. It's not uniform. And that is perfect. That's exactly what we need. So I'm going to do the rest of these, and I'll bring you back for the fingernail posts. Let's get down to how to put these on. So I'm going to find my middle. Okay. And I'm just going to make a little mark. Doesn't really matter. We're literally just finding the middle. I'm just making a little mark to kind of know when I'm lining things up. And I'm just making sure I'm kind of within my middle mark. I'm going to bring it up. You don't want it right on the edge because you don't want to bead into the metal. You know, it's kind of impossible with a beading needle. And I'm just going to mark this mark right here. This is the only mark I'm making. And then I'm going to take this, fold it. And I already have my mark for my middle. I'm going to cut on the upside because I cut below the finding, so I'm going to cut on the upside of this line. Of course, I could not find my good scissors either, so maybe you can see this, maybe not. So I'm on the upside of this line towards the top. Okay, just a little slit, not too much. Leather stretches. I'm going to open my finding. I'm going to come from the back. I'm going to feed this little tongue in. Okay, and then I've seen people like take them apart and whatnot. I just feed it through. And boom, we're good. Then I'm going to take my post and I just kind of line it up where it's going to naturally want to go. I'm going to pull this up. Okay. I'm going to hit on that middle mark that I made on the leather. I'm going to make an indentation. I've got my indentation. And then I'm going to move it, and you can kind of see where it was. I'm going to take this awl or pokey, husky thing, and I'm going to make it bigger. I'm going to slide it down. That's just how I do it. Making sure I'm in the middle. I'm just going to work it through until I feel it go through the leather. I'm going to pick up the leather with this still in it. Boom. There you go. So, when you're putting them on, because of the slit, you're going to have to make sure that it stays straight, because it does have some wiggle here. And then you're going to do a little glue underneath. Put it all together. Now I'm going to take this, and I'm going to look at each one, and I'm going to just identify the middle, eyeball it, you know, technical term. We're going to eyeball it, middle of the T, up here, and I'm just going to make a little line, tiny little dot there for me to know where the middle of this is going to be when I'm working from the back. I'm not looking at the front, I'm looking only at the back. So I can just reference this without having to flip it over and over again. So I just reference this line. E6000, a lot of people are warning away from it, or talking about the fumes. If you're a sensitive person, you probably will be sensitive to the fumes. It is kind of a pungent glue. It doesn't bother my skin, but I've heard it does bother some people's skin. So, working with gloves and this glue though, I'm going to end up getting it on the face of my beadwork, and I'd rather not. So what I do is I get myself a little paper towel, and I douse it in alcohol. Not all the way, but you know, give myself a good surface of alcohol. That way, if I get it on my hands while I'm working, I can quickly wipe it off before I transfer it to anything else. I don't want to get glue on the back of my leather, and I don't want it on the front of my beadwork. So, can be a messy business. You can use pokers or whatever it is that you're looking to use. This is just what I do. So, first I'm going to take my beadwork. I'm going to attach this thing, and I attach it with this side facing the beadwork because it will glue better to the beadwork itself. And I'm going to take a little bit of glue around my stitching where my knots are and whatnot. Now, see if I can keep this in frame this time. A little bit of glue here, a little bit of glue here, and you're just kind of wiping it off, and a little bit of glue here. Want to make sure that you have that. I don't put glue on the leather because I don't want to take the chance of putting it on the edges and whatnot. It's kind of difficult to sew through. So, boom. And we begin the lining up process again. Nice and light when I first put it over here. And then I'll start to manipulate it. And we're starting to be technical. So we're starting to look at the finer things. We're going to look at this line, and this post is what we're looking at. So the post and this line should be lining up. Okay. Then we're going to look at the distance from the post to the edge. Okay. We're going to start looking at the angle of this thing. We're going to flip it over. Make sure we have leather hanging off of all sides. Give it a tug. We're going to look at it from this side. Eyeball the word and the post like this, because the word is what I'm lining up on. Need to make sure that I'm not having this metal right up on the edge of my pellon. I need to be able to bead into the edge of the pellon. So, looks good. This is small. It's not a lot of overhang, but it is enough for me to be able to drag up, because leather stretches, and there's no glue on my edge of my leather. It's only on the middle. I don't need my edge glued down. And the only part of the edge that does kind of get glued is up here by where this fingernail post is. Because we glue it to the cardboard and to the leather. The cardboard is also glued to this with the double layer, one on the cardboard, one on the beadwork. It is never going to come off. So, making sure it's all right. Important when you're dealing with epoxy cabs is to have something soft. And I'm just tearing up a paper towel. You need to have something soft over your cab when you're going to clamp it, because it can leave an indent. Normally they will come out. Oops. Normally they come out, the indents, but every once in a while you'll get that one clamp of any kind that has a sharp edge to it, and it will actually damage your cab. So this is all I really do, is making sure everything's going to stay exactly where I laid it. Don't have to go overboard, and I will remove these fairly quickly. Once it's all tacked, then I will remove these, because I don't want it to cure with these. That way I can still massage out any indents that might be getting made on my leather. We don't care what it looks like around it, we just need the points, the technical points, to be lining up correctly. So we need this post lined up with this. We need the metal to not be all the way to the very edge of this pellon. And we need this fingernail post to be straight. This tongue to be straight. There you go. And if you use a lot of glue, make sure you smooth it down while it's wet. Sometimes I'll go like this, just to kind of see where my edge is. Make sure it looks about the same. So the tack is already made, so now tack is already made on this one, so we're gonna smooth that out. So, measure twice, cut once, but it's kind of the same theory. Look and 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 look some more. Off to the next. Double check, double check. Looks good. So they're starting to come together. Then we'll edge them up, and we'll be done with 2 pairs of earrings. We will definitely put the cap on our E6000 though. It's what beaters use. There are some people who use Elmer's glue and things like that. It's not for me. Tried it, don't like it. E6000. Wear a ventilator or one of those big mask things that, you know, stop fumes from getting into your respiratory system. Clean up. Alcohol. Also, after you're done with all of the E6000 stuff, you alcohol your hands, get all that you can off, and then go wash with some soap and water. Here's a little plug. We make soap. That's actually one of the beginning products that we made, was candles and soap. So if you need some soap, we just released our Castile soap, and it is in the website, ChiloquinUniqueCreations.com. I'm so sorry. We're so small though, and I gotta get you guys knowing us. That's why there's plugs. I'm so sorry. In the future, when you all know me, I will not have to say it 500 times. But, you know, you guys don't know us yet. Just stuck my finger in the glue. Good thing I got this piece right here, huh? So if you have time, go to the website, go to the Facebook page, which is Chiloquin Unique. Find us on Etsy, Instagram, Chiloquin Unique, and let us know what you think, I guess. Please be gentle with the criticisms in the beginning. I will have much thicker skin after I get some actual content under my belt. Still experimenting with the whole video thing. Don't know how much I'm providing. I'm giving you like the hardest things that I had to figure out because there was nobody to teach me certain things. This was one of those things. Make sure you stop by ChiloquinUniqueCreations.com. Now, check it out. There is some good stuff on there. That is where you also find all the beadwork. There is some beadwork in the Etsy, but it's not all in there. I don't know why. I'm still struggling with the whole website and Etsy. Website and Etsy. Etsy is strictly to get new customers. It's because it's a platform that people will browse. Whereas my website is, you know, I don't even know how to publicize it yet, besides, you know, YouTube or Instagram, Facebook, you know, to a point. But, you know, spread the word, go there, share it. I hope you all have a wonderful day. I'll see you back for edging